Hi, welcome to Big Sexy Chat. I'm Crystal.
I'm Murph.
We're just two rad fatties sitting around,
Chewing the fat.
Twice a month we'll be chatting about current events,
Hot topics,
sex, sex toys, fat politics, fat community, cannabis, CBD, you name it, we're going to talk about it. We are very excited to have you a part of our community. Welcome and enjoy. Hey, welcome back to Big Sexy Chat. I'm Crystal.
I'm Murph.
And we have a wonderful guest today. Sam is with us today. Sam is our Disney expert and our expert about, she's like a school health clerk here in the Bay Area. And we have so much to talk with her about. We don't want to hear, we know she's a Diz nerd, right?
certified Diz dork. Yep.
Diz dork, Diz nerd. And I think you and Murph have some things in common when it comes around to that stuff, because I think Murph and her hubby, like you and your hubby, I know, you're into some of the cosplay and the LARPing and Star Wars and Star Trek and Disney and all that good stuff.
So fun. I love it.
Yeah. We got married as Han Solo and Princess Leia and had a movie themed wedding. So it was everybody dressed up as
Up.
Oh yeah, it was fun.
Oh my God. So I'm not like, yes, my husband walked down the aisle to the Imperial March in an El Charro suit with a Darth Vader mask and cape. And he's born on May the 4th. So it's like in our blood. Our next child is going to be named Rennie, but spelled like W-R-E-N, like Ren in Ashoka. Yeah.
Nice.
That's us.
Oh, I love it. We've been wanting to interview you for the longest time, and we're so thrilled to have you with us. We know you're a big supporter of ours, and we appreciate all the love that you give us and all the enthusiasm you give us. And we also appreciate all your short videos that you make for us. They're wonderful. We love them.
Oh, well, thanks for having me, guys. I seriously was so excited when Crystal told me that you guys were doing this. And I share with everyone that I can, like, listen to Big Sexy Chat. It's so good. And yeah, I'm so thankful that you guys do this, and I'm thankful to be here tonight, I guess. Yeah.
Thank you. So Sam, why don't you start off by telling us how you became a Diz nerd, and when did you have the realization you're kind of different than other kids?
Yeah, well, different than other kids was when I stepped on the scale and I was 200 pounds, and my doctor automatically treated me different. So that was in second grade. I just knew that Same. I was different than the other kids. I also knew that I was different because my dad especially instilled in me to stand up for myself and up for others. So I was always known as the fat loud chick, actually the fat black loud chick, because growing up where I grew up, there was 5.5 black people. So, and I wore that proud. I was I'm going to stand up for stuff that's not right when other kids get bullied. And my older brother was a victim of bullying a lot. He had some medical issues. And so he had really bad arthritis in his legs, juvenile arthritis, and kids would make fun of him. And he wore kick-ass kitty shorts to school, and kids would make fun of him. And I would stomp over, I was a third grader, he's a fifth grader. I'd be like, hey, that's my brother, be nice. And that's when I just realized I am cut from a different cloth. I am loud, I take charge, and I tell you what the F is up if it's wrong. So that was that.
As I know you have a very strong sense of right and wrong. Yes,
I do. And I've had that from a very young age. And hopefully my daughter is getting that as well. We'll see. hard to raise kids these days. And okay, when I found out I was a Disney, it's like a help group. When I found out I was a Disney dork. So I'm from a family of 6. There's 6 members total. And my parents would save so much and put so much time into planning a trip every other year to Disney. And those are a lot of my core memories. When I think about growing up, I think about how blessed I was that my parents, my dad was a paramedic, my mom was a teacher. So it's not like we had boatloads of money coming in, and we all played sports and all that stuff. And I was extremely blessed for that. And I just realized that it made me so happy to go there. And my parents are both larger, and I've always been larger. And one thing about Disney is that we always all fit on the rides. And that was something that we didn't get at other theme parks. And so I just fell in love with it. And I understand that Disney has a lot of social issues and things like that. And I don't turn a blind eye to that. But when it connects you with your family like that, where you can all do something when you're used to being the fattest family, It's nice and it's heartwarming.
Is this thing about Disney, especially I know Disneyland in Southern California, I thought this accessibility to fat people was kind of new, but has that been around for a long time?
Yeah. I mean, my dad was always a bigger guy. My mom was always a bigger woman, and we always all fit on the rides. Like, I distinctly remember being in like 4th grade and going to Great America and not fitting on rides. And it was the most embarrassing thing because I went with my sister and all of her friends, and there was rides that like I could not go on. And then I go to Disneyland and I fit on everything, even the little kid rides. So there's, I think, one ride right now that I don't fit on, but I'm not squeezing myself into a rocket ship and flying above Disneyland anyway. So,
Sam, when did you start to identify with the word fat and feel like a self-described fat person using that term?
So I actually had to take my first degrees in TV, radio, broadcasting, and production at SF State, and I had to take a identity, genders, communication class. And I was commuting from Los Gatos to San Francisco State at the time, and I showed up late for this class, and we were pulling tickets, like a big fishbowl of ideas for our final term paper, our big thesis paper. I was the only fat person in this like huge lecture hall class. And there was about 3 strips left, and I pulled out the fat studies to write my paper on. And I, at that time, was not okay with being fat. Like, I did everything I could to change the way my body looked constantly. And so I was like, haha, funny. The only fat girl in the class gets the fat studies, like, and my teacher was like, no, like, you need to write this. Like, I feel like this is going to be a eye-opening experience for you. And I went home and I was just pissed. So I started Googling, and that's when I found Crystal. And I literally say, like, that moment changed my life when I saw that you had Curvy Girl lingerie, and I stalked the shit out of you, Crystal. Like, and
I remember
yeah,
that. Yeah.
And at that moment, I remembered I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, I am beautiful. I am worthy. And I actually called and canceled my upcoming weight loss surgery. And ever since then, I have referred to myself as fat. Fat is a
I didn't know about the weight loss surgery.
Yep. I was signed up for it. And I literally thank God every day that I did not go through with it, because
I'm so glad to.
love, one, my body. I love the community that I've met, and my body has done some amazing things for me that if I didn't put the love into it and the time to find my love for my body, I don't think I would ever have.
You created a whole human.
I know. I grew a human. Okay, yeah, the baby is the best part. But do you know that we grow a whole organ for 9 months and then just it out when we're done carrying the baby?
That damn placenta.
Blown. Like, that was the coolest thing ever. Like, I was stoked about the baby. I mean, I really was.
And you did it all while fat.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
But people think, oh, fat people, you're going to be so in danger if you have a baby and you get pregnant when you're fat. I know.
I had so much, like, fat discrimination when I was in the hospital giving birth. Tell me why I popped my baby out in 9 minutes. Yup, thank you. At the end, they said my body was made for birthing babies. That ain't gonna happen. But, yeah.
Yeah, no shit. And by the way, fat women have been having babies for millions of years. So
exactly.
We're not new.
Exactly. So
wow, so cool.
Yeah.
And Sam's baby goes by YY.
She does. My little nugget. She just
started
kindergarten. Lots of sass.
Oy.
Wonder where she got it from.
Lots of sass. I know, right? So when did you know that you were kind of different when it comes to Disney, and you're like a dork or a Disney?
Yeah.
You're like obsessed a little bit, right?
Yeah, no, you could clearly use that word obsessed. I'm literally wearing Disney like right now. Like, I wear Disney like every day. It's a way of life for me. When I was probably when I started to go multiple times a year. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, and also when I started watching like YouTube videos of Disney, or like going to sleep to like the sounds of Disney. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm admitting this. Okay, the truth is coming out. Yeah, it's just
okay. So, who's your favorite Disney character?
Oh, Well, right now it's Baymax because I'm going in like the whole nursing field, and I just think like he's fat and chubby. But I'm actually saving up to get a whole sleeve of fat Disney characters. But Gus Gus and Lou and Tiana are like my... Oh, and then Clarabelle the cow, because she's a gay icon and she's fucking amazing. That's why. So I have quite a bit.
And you know about Murph's tattoo, right?
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I think you sent me a picture of it or tagged me in it. I love
Ursula.
I love my bitch Ursula. She's gonna go right over my shoulder. I already have it.
Is it true? Because I haven't been to Disneyland in a really long time, but is it true that you're like poo size or Baloo size or whatever?
Yeah, we usually call it poo size, but then I'm like, that kind of sounds like poo, like dookie.
Poop.
Yeah, like poop. Yeah. So I like to use Baloo size, or what else did I use? Yeah, I usually use Baloo size, or I say Pooh Bear size, because...
I'm Ursula's size, bitches.
Oh, okay, Crystal. Okay, yeah, we're coming up with some new terms now. Okay.
I mean, right?
We're going to say it now. Yep. We're Crystal size.
Yeah, I haven't been there since they started that. So is that on signs and stuff when you go to a ride and you're like, oh, if this fits for a Baloo, this fits for a
No, but that actually would probably be a good idea, or to have more tester seats out. So that's like one of the big differences between Disneyland and Disney World. Disney World has a lot of tester seats. And I think it's because they also, unfortunately, don't want to take the time to be like, oh, sorry, you don't fit, because they are functioning at a much higher capacity than Disney World. Than Disneyland, excuse me. So they don't have that, but they do have like if you're large, like you might not be able to fit on the ride. They have this warning, which is absolutely ridiculous because almost everyone fits. And you can always ask, a lot of people don't know this, but like, in the more popular rides right now, like Rise of Resistance, you can actually ask for an extra seat. So you can not be bombarding or like have people encroaching on you. And then they actually have like doors that open on rides. So it's like, here's like the latch for the door, but then like the other side will also open. So you have more access to get on. On Rise of the Resistance, which is like the big stars right now, the whole side of the car actually scoots back. The whole door side opens. And so part of my blog that I do, or trying to get up and going, is I actually measure all the rides. So I measure the entry point of when you enter. So I call it the corrals, which is like when you wait in the line. And then I also measure like the door that you use to get on the ride. So like, for example, Rise of the Resistance is 11 inches if you don't ask for it to open up. My thigh is like 22 inches. So I ain't trying to lift up my belly to get in a car, and then also trying to wrangle my husband because he's like all excited Star Wars nerd, like, ah! So you can ask at the beginning. I ask for an extra seat, and then I ask for them to expand the door, and they just do it. And it's Disney does it, if you are not comfortable like I am, Disney does it discreetly enough where it's not like a big deal. Like my hips got stuck in one of the doors, like one of the, like, not like it didn't hurt or anything, it just kept hitting it. And the guy was like, oh no, I'm just training how to do this because I'm new. And I'm like, dude, you ain't got to hide it. My fat ass got stuck in the door. It's okay. Like, let's just fix this and move on. So they are really good about that, and giving you time to get settled and get in. And so I wish they had a little more label of like this, right, or like this is where the larger seat is, or something like that. So hopefully it will start heading that way.
So tell us more about the test seats. Where are they? What do they do? And are they only 32 inches? What's something that's 32 inches at Disneyland? Is that the seats or the entry?
So test seats. A lot of theme parks. So like I said, test seats are really big in Florida at Disney World and also at Universal Studios. So what the test seat is it's usually at the entrance to the ride or nearby the entrance. And you go and you ask a cast member. Those are the people that work at Disney. Their names are they're cast members. Which, a side note, always say please and thank you to cast members because their job is not easy and they do not get paid nearly enough to put up with the bullshit that they get put up with. So always try and be respectful and kind to them because They got a day, even if they just got on the clock. They got a day.
Good reminder. Yeah.
So anyway, so when you want to use a test seat, you go and you ask a cast member, hey, can I see if I fit in the test seat? And they go and they unlock it, and then they will have you sit in it like you would the ride. And it actually looks like the ride vehicle. So like when I did the one for Avatar, it's like a motorcycle bike. And that ride is like notoriously known for not fitting people over a size 22. But it's really how you maneuver your body onto it. Because where it clicks in your calves, if you sit up higher and more forward, then you usually fit. I wasn't comfortable when I went into the ride because I walked all day and it was humid, so my body was super swollen. So like these are little things that you need to like take into consideration that you normally wouldn't think of. But when you're walking all day at a theme park, your body does swell because it's hot and you're walking a lot.
Yeah, I want to come back to that in a little bit too. So I want to talk about what you would suggest people wear and what kind of shoes to wear and how to deal with the heat and humidity and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for that. So are the tester seats, is that kind of new? I mean, like I said, I haven't been there in probably 20 years.
Yeah, so like I said, they're not at Disneyland yet. They're at Disney World, and they're also at Universal Studios. Disney is very far behind, I feel. Like a lot of their lines aren't ADA accessible, and they have ways. We'll talk about how they have ways to like go around that. They all have like ways for wheelchairs and people with walkers or walking aids to go and get on the ride. So that is that. But like the lines sometimes are too narrow for a wheelchair to go through or a walker to go through. So there's another way that you do it. But like I said, Disney World, I feel was a tad bit easier to navigate. And I just don't know if that's because they have people from all over the world going to Disney World, which they also have people all over the world going to Disneyland. Like it's the OG, like, you know? And so hopefully they're starting to add more things. And I hope that that is one of the things. Like when I saw that they had the door have like a wider, like 2 doors basically for Rise of the Resistance, the newest Star Wars ride, I was blown away. But this isn't shit that they advertise, and they should advertise it. They should say, hey, we have a larger door so you don't have to squeeze through an 11-inch door. Like when they open it up, it's literally like the whole side of the car is opened up and you have so much room to slide in. And it's like, you don't know. If you don't know, you can't ask for it. And then your body gets...
It's too bad they don't advertise that. They don't put a sign up there or something.
Exactly. I had a cast member pull me aside and tell me, because I was wearing a crop top that day and my body bruised from trying to get on and off the rides. And she was like, girl, let me help you out. And I said, damn, what? Like, this is so cool. So hopefully they'll start doing that as they redo rides, as they do refurbishments. They start adding cars because let's be real, America is fat and we still like to do theme parks.
Yep. And we like to do everything.
Exactly.
Do.
Exactly.
Every single thing. Maybe I don't like Pilates as much as they like it, but other than that. So which park, I remember the last time I went to Universal Studios, it was a nightmare.
It still
is. Is it? Okay. Which park is the most fat friendly?
I would say Disney parks. I would say both. I shouldn't say Disney park. Disney parks in the United States. Disneyland Paris, not so much. But Disneyland parks in the United States are really, I feel, size friendly, Pooh Bear size friendly, and accommodating. There is some random like turnstiles that they have at the park for like Jungle Cruise and a lot of the Fantasyland rides, and It's a Small World, but you can ask to bypass the turnstiles, which a lot of people don't know this. But yeah, if you go, there's always a cast member at the front of the line. I cannot stress this enough to people. There's always a cast member at the front of the line, and even though it might be uncomfortable, you have to advocate for yourself because they are not going to go, hey, you're fat, come this way. They're not going to do that. And they're not going to do that.
So that might upset some people.
Yeah. I mean, I know we do it at fat brunch. Like, hey, you're fat. Are you sitting with us? But in the real world, they don't do that.
Yeah.
So I always say, like, go and ask, like, hey, does this ride have turnstiles? And they'll say yes. And then you'll say, okay, can I do the other entrance? And what they do is they'll give you a return time. You can go relax and you come back and go up the exit where there's no turnstiles.
Very cool. Does it seem like the cast members are educated about being fat friendly?
Yes and no. I kind of relate this to like Southwest, how it's like you kind of like half the people know the policies, half the people don't know the policies of Southwest flying. So you get a different, like a cup every time you go. But for the majority, I would say yes. I would say like the first time, this was only a year ago, I would say, for the first time ever, a cast member asked me, like when I was going and checking in, they're like, oh, well, can you do turnstiles or no? And I was like, oh my God, thank you for asking. Like, I don't have to ask myself. Like, that's just a nice thing because I'm always so used to asking that it was just like a shock. And, they do like slow down the rides if you need to like help getting on the rides. Cause a lot of them have like those belts that you just kind of like walk on and like hop on the ride. But once again, they have narrow openings. So for larger bodies, it's not a 1-2 step, it's a side step. And then it's like getting everything down and lowering the bar. And
Interesting.
they're very conscious about like where the bar hits your belly. And I've always been asked, is that too tight? Are you comfortable? I'll say yeah or no.
I was just going to ask you, do a lot of the rides still have the bar? I only remember the bar at the haunted house.
At the Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion, yeah.
Where are you? Yes. So I would say through both parks, 4 or 5 rides that are seatbelts. But like I was telling Crystal earlier, last time I went, which was just in July, I was offered a seatbelt extender on Dumbo, which I've never been offered a seatbelt extender on Dumbo. And I have a small child, so we ride Dumbo. And I was shocked. They literally had them around their arm, just walking around checking the seatbelts. So it's like you don't even have to go ask. They'll come to you and just be like, oh, here's a seatbelt extender.
That's so cool.
It was so cool. So I went, and here's the other thing with theme parks. If you have a complaint or if you have something that you like, you have to write into them if you want to see more of that. There's another ride in California Adventure called the Zephyr, and it's like this, it makes me sick, but it's like this large like metal tube basically that each like a group sits in, and you just go around like this, and they also offered me a seatbelt extender. Yeah.
That's very cool.
It was really, really
I didn't know you can even do that at Disney. I know about this thing about writing in or sending a note or whatever. I say the same thing about with Southwest Airlines. If you have a great experience, go on Twitter or go to their feedback page and go say, thank you. I'm a fat person. I really appreciate this policy. I'm sure the same is true at Disney.
Exactly. Yeah. And like also with Disney, you can give cast members compliments. And I think that's something really important because like I said, like I could never do their job. I could never do their job. I'd probably get fired or sued for like cussing out someone. Like, I can't. Yeah, no.
Hard same.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a people person, but that's like, oh, hold on. And those costumes, no, ma'am. Thank you.
I found that at California Adventure, I struggle with the, is it Screaming California?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because isn't that the one that like has to like strap down like... Is that the bar that like goes up?
So Screaming California is over the head. And the only pressure that I get is really on like my boobs when I do it. But it does, I have seen fairly large people go on it and they clear. So it's really where the seatbelt clicks for you. So, I mean, I do it freakishly tight because you go upside down and I'm like, I'm not dying at Disney. I'm not doing it. I mean, I'll go into labor at Disney, but I will not die at Disney. Okay. Right. And so, I've seen, my dad was probably about 450 and he wrote it. So that's nice. The only ride that I somewhat have an issue with at, well, there's 2. Cars, you have to step really low in and you have to like, it's a low ride, but like, I've lost all humility. Is that humility? When I go to Disneyland, I roll over in rides to get up. I'm like, I look like a turtle sometimes, but I don't care. Okay, like no one's raining on my parade. Okay,
did they pay your entrance? No, they did not. You paid your entrance. You get to do whatever you want to do.
Thank you, and give me some popcorn while you're at it. Thank you. So there's some rides where I just look like a hot mess coming off. And next time I want to film that because that's like reality. That's like real world. So Cars is a little hard to get
Absolutely.
on and off, and Guardians of the Galaxy is just a tight fit. But there is, in the middle, there's a larger seat. But what sucks about that is you don't really have anything to hold on to. And well, I had a come to Jesus moment in that ride. I don't know why people do that for fun. You just go up and drop, go up and drop. They're like, oh.
Totally. I want to go back to the fact that you got to meet one of our favorite people, Jen from Plus Mommy, Jen McClellan, and you guys got to meet at Disneyland, but it was the day of the shutdown for the pandemic. Holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I pride myself on being at Disney at that day. Like,
Yeah.
there's only been 2 other times besides that Disneyland is shut down. When JFK got shot and when 9/11. They closed early on 9/11. Actually, Disneyland didn't even open on 9/11 because when it happened. So I like take pride in that. It's like a weird Disney flex. Like, oh, you went to Club 33? Cool. I was there when the park shut down.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so cool. And it's so cool you got to meet somebody so rad, another rad fatty who's also a very great advocate for Disney, and she has a lot of good information about it as well.
Yeah, and so I met Jen 3 years prior to that. I interviewed on her podcast, thanks to Crystal. And her and I just hit it off. And we've always talked about, like, we always just miss each other in LA. Like, just miss each other. And so I saw that she was going on a honeymoon trip or an anniversary trip with her husband. And she was going to Disney. And I was like, girl, it's going to happen. And we literally, it was like something out of a romance novel. We just ran and just embraced each other. And was just like, oh my gosh, it's finally you. And it was like raining and drizzling. It was so romantic. I loved it. It was right in front of Adventureland.
So cute.
Yeah, we took like a million pictures. We ate together. We rode pirates. It was really, really fun.
Wonderful. I love it. So I read about a story because you mentioned you wore a half shirt to Disney. Are they cool with that? Because I've heard sometimes they have kind of strict rules about what you can wear, and if you expose an underboob, they give you a free T-shirt or something like that.
I mean, I haven't gone that far, but you might try it because prices are expensive these days. So I actually went with a bunch of fat friends. There was about 8 of us. We were wearing crop tops. We were wearing tight biker shorts. Tess Holiday goes all the time wearing a sports bra and biker shorts. I have never had an issue at Disneyland. At Disney World, I didn't have an issue either, and I wore crop tops. My bra was hanging out. Like, I think it really is, unfortunately, if someone says something, they'll come and talk to you, which is complete bullshit because us showing and proudly showing our fat bodies puts us more at people saying something because they are fatophobic. Right. So I've never had an issue, but I mean, some of the outfits are gorgeous, and people always remember that, like, there are kids around. And also, like, do you want to have your ass hanging out when you get out of ride? If you do, good for you, great. But it's going to stick to the ride and it's going to hurt when it gets up. That's what I always say. Like, I go for comfort, and I give people so much praise when they look all cute. I don't wear a drop of makeup. I wear a sports bra. Let's go.
Do you ever go to like a sports stadium and you see ladies in heels and you're like, why?
Yeah.
You're going to have to walk up and down the stairs. And like, I understand wanting to look cute, but you can look really cute in flats too. It'd be more comfortable. But some people are committed to wearing heels everywhere. And I'm like, oh Lord, no.
It's like I see people at Disney in like flat sandals. I feel like that's also like now, like when you're over 30, when ... you go to Disneyland and your feet cramp seeing someone walk around in Vans or seeing someone walk around in Converse. Like, you're just like, how do you do that? You're gonna get plantar fasciitis.
Oh God, I know. What is it called when your calves hurt really bad in the front? Shin splints. That shit hurts.
Yeah, that shit fucking hurts so bad.
So what do you recommend people, especially people of size, what do you recommend that they wear to Disneyland? Obviously, if you want to be cute or you just want to be comfortable, like, what's the best thing? I get chub rub like instantly, so I have to be really careful.
I got my Monistat anti-chafing gel. Actually, we apply it all as a family. No joke. My brothers went with us a couple summers ago, and they're like, no. My older brother's like, sure, I'll take a little. And then my younger brother was like, no, I don't need it. I'm fine. Tell me why homeboy was chafing after like 2 hours. And he's like, pass me that stuff. I'm like, say I'm right. And he literally just goes and puts his on and puts his hands on his pants at like the Pinocchio restaurant. I'm like, dude, you're going to get us kicked out of this place. But every couple hours, he's like, hey, let me get that stuff again. I was like, everyone chafes. So going back to chafing, I usually hike up biker shorts, like right up. I don't care if I got a fucking camel toe. I ain't chafing. And I use my like anti-chafe rub. I use it like in between my thighs and then right under my butt cheeks and also under my boobs and actually on my nipples because you're walking a lot. So that's like rubbing. I'll even sometimes put it underneath my arms. And then here's like a secret trick. I actually change my underwear halfway through the day. Yeah. I bring a Ziploc bag and I bring a clean pair of chonies. Actually bring a couple of pairs because I got like GI issues. So you gotta be prepared. And I will change my underwear halfway through the day. And it is like the best reset that you could ever have at Disneyland. My friend taught me that.
Much more comfortable.
And I was like, damn. And there's actually private bathrooms. So there's 2 at Tiki Room. There's 2 in Toontown. And there's 1 on Main Street. But I always tell people, yes, you can use those, but also be aware that those are companion bathrooms as well. And they have stuff in there for diabetics or medication with needles and stuff like that. So if you do use it, just don't. Also, I personally will let someone go ahead of me if I see that like their body like requires them to have a bathroom like that. Or I just don't. I just do a quick change, get in, get out. But it is nice because you do have space like spread out, hike your leg up on the toilet, really get that anti-chafe gel in there so you're good to go. But also speaking of bathrooms at Disneyland, I say like they always have like the smaller stalls, but the last 3 stalls, the last one is the big handicap stall. And then the last 2 are just wider, a little bit wider and a little bit longer stalls. Fun fact.
How thoughtful. I love it. Yeah, because I hate taking the handicapped ADA compliant one because I don't need it, but I need the space.
Yeah, and the ones on the ends also have, like the 2 ones before the ADA stall, they have railings too to help you get up and down.
Another secret as far as putting gels and chafing stuff on, I was going to say chafing dish, in that area that is like touching the mons and the inner thigh, and sometimes even like a little bit under.
Oh, I lather.
If it's like hanging a little bit. Yeah. And then I put either my deodorant or the anti-chafing because you can chafe in that like that V there and it's not good.
It swollen
it hurts so bad. Yeah, really
and then you're
bad.
walking like you just rode a horse for 12 hours. Yeah.
No lie. And then I've heard secret bathrooms hidden around the park. Is that true?
Yeah, I have favorite bathrooms. Like, I will hike across the park if I need to get to my favorite bathroom because I know that I can hide in the corner and poo in peace. Like
poo has to poo.
Exactly. So there's like the common bathrooms that everyone goes to, like the Queen of Hearts bathroom. The Tomorrowland bathroom is horrible. It's the one right when you walk into Tomorrowland by Plaza Center or Plaza Cafe, Plaza Inn. It's a restaurant. It is so tiny, like so tiny. I hate it. And then there's on Main Street when you first walk in, if you go to the right, there's a bathroom right on the right side there down a walkway. That one's usually pretty good. I have like a love-hate relationship with that bathroom because when I was running the Disney half marathon, I literally shat my pants in that bathroom.
Oh man.
They gave me a protein powder and that's when I didn't know I was allergic to gluten. I was celiac and it had like
yeah.
It was a fun walk back to my hotel, but whatever.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Al Roker shit his pants at the Obama White House, so you're good.
So true.
Well, were you already doing the practice of keeping an extra pair of underwear at that time?
No.
It was a lesson learned after.
Lesson learned. Also learned where to put all my chafing gel. Yep. Yep.
So what do you wear normally, or what do you recommend people wear? Yeah, I know you like this anti-chafing shorts, but what else?
So I recommend to wear, I know this sounds corny, whatever you are comfortable in, whether that's sweatpants, whether that's biker shorts, whether that's a skirt, whether that's a dress, whether that's jeans. And I've tried to wear everything to see what I like. And I will usually wear my favorite pair of pants that are tried and true. Like, you know that these are going to be comfortable and feel good. I am blessed where I have a stroller still. My little one still needs her stroller for some accessibility needs. And so I will tuck a whole extra outfit in there. But I always I say pockets. Make sure you have pockets, because there's nothing more annoying than like sticking in your bra and it getting all sticky. And like, I also just don't like sticking in my bra. And then you stick it in your pant thing and you don't want it to fall out. Pockets are best. Plus you can hold treats in your pockets.
True.
Yeah, because you don't want to get hangry in line. And then, shoes wise, don't wear a new pair of shoes to Disney. I've made that mistake and I paid for it. I recommend Hoka's. I'm trying these Kiziks, or those shoes where you don't have to bend over to put them on. They just slip on.
Love it.
I've worn Croc sneakers, not Croc clogs, because that's not enough support for me. But I love wearing sandals to the park. Like, even in the winter, I wear sandals. So I have Teva sandals.
Interesting.
Yeah, I did a whole Disney World trip for 2 weeks in Teva sandals. And I love them. I literally wore them out. They are like flat on the bottom. So yeah, really whatever is comfortable. But just remember, like, if you take it off, you have to carry it. Or you can get a locker, but that's an extra $10, $10. And a lot of times, like, people forget to empty out their locker at the end of the night. That's another thing.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah. And also, like, you want to wear things that dry quickly, because there are water rides. You do get wet there's Tiana's Bayou Adventure that's coming. There is the water ride in California Adventure. But like Pirates, you get like a splash of water on you and stuff like that. So you want to make sure that it's quick drying and comfortable. Yeah. And we're a family of sensory, so we literally will try on outfits before we go and be like, is this a yay? Is this an A? So yeah, I wear whatever comfortable for me. And you know what? Like I said, bless people that do bounding. Bounding is when you dress like a character, but it's not like so obvious.
Right. Kind of like a hint of the character, right?
Exactly. So we always do like corny t-shirts. I don't know if you guys know the Goofy movie, but we did like Lester's Possum Pals, which is like the possum rodeo that they went to in the movie. So like, we do stuff like that. And like, we'll be like, okay, let's dress with like our up shirt today, or this, that. Oh, and I always wear a hat and sunscreen. We have timers going off on our phone, and I bring it even in line with me, and we do sunscreen and water. It's very, very important. And you can get free water anywhere at Disneyland. We'll circle back on that in a second. I personally don't like the ears because they feel weird on my head. So I get these little tiny Mickey Mouse ears from Amazon, and they like clip into the little holes in my hat, so I can still wear hats. And
very cute,
anything. But like, yeah, going back to the water, anywhere that there is a restaurant service, you can get a free cup of ice water. Now they'll give you the little cups and you can refill your water bottle. Also at the Coke corner in Disneyland and Pim's Test Kitchen, they got that fancy Coke machine where it's like 50 million flavors. So you can get like some sparkle water or something if you're feeling fancy.
Are you allowed to bring any water in to the park?
Yep. You are allowed to bring water and food in. No glass jars. I have brought an aluminum can of like an energy drink in the morning, and they didn't say no. So yeah, you're allowed to bring all of your food, and you are allowed to eat it in the park. You don't have to like hide it. Like, and you know, when I used to sneak movie in at the movie theaters, I'd be like, no, like you.
Yeah, because it's so it's expensive to get in. Isn't it like $150 to get in?
It depends on the day. It's anywhere from 150. Well, I would say 135 to 150 a day. Yeah, depending on what day it is and what time of the year. Right now, they're in their.
You got to bring your own food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like for me, my family, we have allergies. I am finding out newly nut allergies pretty regularly. And it's not like you get a refund if you have allergic reaction and have to leave. They're like, no, the mouse is going to keep your money. Okay. That's why he's the big cheese. Okay.
That's right.
So, yeah, we bring a cooler, a backpack cooler. There are regulations on what size cooler you can bring. You can't bring like, free ice, like not free ice, like, loose ice. You can't bring loose ice, and you can't bring obviously alcohol. but everything else is, and knives. You can't bring knives in, but they have all of that there. They have butter knives and stuff like that. And then in the baby centers, they have a microwave. So like if you have to, you can heat up something. But what we usually do for my daughter is freeze all those Uncrustables and then just throw them in. And by the time she eats them, and we do like fruit snacks and trail mix, power bars, beef jerky, turkey jerky, cheese sticks, all high protein. You want to have high protein because you're going all day. And then we'll get like a snack, or we'll leave the park for dinner and go to like a local restaurant, try and find a small mom and pop restaurant and go to that and then come back.
What is the deal with the Dole Whips? Like, why are people like head over heels over the Dole Whip?
Because they're amazing. We actually sprinkle tahini on them. That's a little secret. So it's like mango and pineapple. They now have like a watermelon one, and they have this really cool like it's called the Tiki Hideaway, and they have like different types of bao buns. So they have like pork bao buns, a curry vegetable bao bun, and then like it's really good. And they have dessert lumpia. Yeah, it's really good. And it's really refreshing. It's one of the cheaper treats, and it's allergy friendly.
Nice. I'm curious, what is your favorite place? Well, favorite place and favorite item to snack on at Disney? Like, if you had to spend the money, and like, what's your go-to?
Okay, so like I said, I'm celiac, so it used to be churros. Like I would double fist those churros. Yes. And beignets, those are really good, but unfortunately I can't have those anymore. So my favorite treat, and my daughter accidentally found this out or thought of it, and I'm obsessed with it. Cotton candy with popcorn. So you take cotton candy, you break it off, and you stick it in the top of the popcorn, and then it like sticks on it, and you eat it, and it's like a salty sweet. So good. So it has to be the regular flavor cotton candy. We went during like the 100th in April, like the big kickoff celebration, and I got some bullshit grape cotton candy, and I was like, this is not working, and it made my poop purple. So yeah, not a fan of that.
That would be cool. Awesome.
It was a little. I mean, yeah, my daughter was very like, "Oh my god, that's my favorite color, mom!" Like, yeah.
That would be me. I'd be like, yeah, purple. I gotta have purple cotton candy.
Exactly.
Gotta have it.
So that's my favorite. And
so you buy the cotton candy there, and you buy the popcorn there too.
Yeah. We usually buy like the popcorn bucket, because then you get like a little souvenir bucket, which we use in like sandboxes and stuff like that. Or if it's like a holiday one, like we buy the holiday one, and then I'll put lights in it at home for that holiday, and it like lights up, and we put it like on the mantle and stuff like that. But if it's just a regular popcorn bucket, Y uses it for like sand toys, beach toys, trash can for the car. I get my monies out of it. Okay. I ain't gonna just buy it and, not use it. Actually, okay. So then like non-treat like that, where you can like buy at the store, is churro toffee. So it's toffee that tastes just like a churro. And I love that.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Are there any apps or tools that Disney has that can help you to navigate the park better? Or is there anything that shows what's more fat friendly or not? Are there any tools other than like websites?
Yeah, no, right now there's no tools showing like fat friendly sizes and what size the rides are. That's what I'm trying to do with my blog, is measure all the rides. So if anyone knows anyone that is connected to Disney and can give it, so I'll pay for my ticket and everything, but I want to measure all of the rides. And I want to say, at this first click is how much space you have between, I call it back and butt and front, from your belly button to your butt. Because some of the seat benches are a little bit narrow, some aren't. So unfortunately, there's nothing like that. There's some great YouTubers out there. If you just search like Fat Disney, stuff will come up. But as for apps, when you're in the park, there's the Disney app. So there's two apps. There's the Disney Play app, which is interactive stuff throughout the park while you're waiting in line. You can play games with other people, all this stuff, but it drains your battery. Then there's just the Disney app, and it shows you the wait times. And if you use the DOS Pass, the Disney app is your best friend. Like, you're in it all the time, scheduling your ride return times, scanning in, stuff like that. And they have maps where you can see like when characters get out, when shows get out. They also show like ADA sections for parades. They show where ADA lines are. They show like companion bathrooms, water fountains, and like the health centers and stuff like that too.
Yeah, I always worry about people that need the ADA compliance anywhere because I already know that fat people don't get a lot of I don't want to say special treatment, but just like nobody thinks about us. And I know people who need a chair or cane or a rollator, they get they get even less than we get, and that's not fair.
Agreed. And
you can visit their concierge when you walk in, and to the left at the concierge, you can like tell them that you have anxiety attacks and like you can't be in a line for a really long time or around too many people. And they don't give you like a full pass for everything to go to the front of the line, but they'll say like, yeah, we'll give you 3 of them so that, you can pick the ones that are really
cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
or scary for you.
Let's talk about that. So that's the DOS pass, disabled services, and it is going through a huge change right now. It's frustrating at times because there are a lot of people that use it and abuse it and don't need it, and it keeps making it harder for people that do need it, or you need to advocate a little more when you're asking for it. So it used to be that you had a wheelchair or a walker or anything to help you aid in mobility, that you would get a DOS pass and you would go to the exit of the line and you would get a return time and then come back. Well, now they've switched to where you do it all in the app. So they will always say like, oh, well, go get a wheelchair. But I get pissed off at that because I'm like, people have already paid so much money to get in the park. Like, they don't need to buy a wheelchair. If they ask for this pass, like, why can't you give it to them instead of making them buy another level of something? You know what I mean? Like, that pisses me off. Like that, anytime I hear that, I will actually like step into the conversation and be like, they don't need to tell you their disability to be able to get a DOS pass. And that's the other thing. You do not have to disclose your disability. I'm an open book. So I'm like, yeah, listen, I got ulcerative colitis. I might shit my pants in line. I also have lupus and I can't be under the sun. That's me. And like, my daughter has autism and waiting in lines is near impossible for her. Like, she will get anxious. She'll start acting out. My husband with his ADHD, lines cause him to get crazy claustrophobic. And it's like everyone just starts screaming at each other. Like, why are we here? What are we doing? Like, I hate Disney. I'm like, why? And so that is what the DOS pass is for. It's for guests that have difficulties waiting in the queue due to a disability. So you don't have to tell them your disability. You just need to tell them why it's hard for you to wait in line. Like, I get anxious. I can't wait in lines because I'm claustrophobic. Like, don't go into like, I'm diagnosed with this disorder, blah, 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 or this. And they will always say, oh, get a wheelchair. And you say no. Like, I can't afford to get a wheelchair. Another thing that a cast member told me is if you go, so you can get it at City Hall, which is to the left when you walk into Disneyland. There's also anywhere that you see like a green umbrella with what they call plaids standing underneath it, which are cast members in plaid vests, and they will help you get disability services. There's one in every little area. The best one I have had no problems with, and like they listen to me and hear my concern and hear like why I need the DOS pass, is in front of the Matterhorn. So it's actually like technically, I guess, when you're entering the park, behind the Matterhorn, against the water line right there. And they've always been super sweet, and there's never a line there. So don't just go straight to the first one that you see, because you will be waiting in line for anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes, and advocate for yourself. Like, don't be scared to ask to talk to a manager. Like, this is your day that you've paid a lot of money for, have taken work off, have traveled. Like, you can do it. You can advocate and say, no, I want this and I need this, and you will give it to me. Point blank, period.
And they don't want the bad press either. If you start tweeting about them or whatever, I think they're pretty like, okay, let's take care of this.
Exactly.
And hopefully. So I want to go back to the wheelchairs though. Yes. Are they wide? Are they bariatric wheelchairs? Will my butt fit in one?
They do have some. You have to ask. They have a whole wide range. But what I actually recommend I always recommend people to get a mobility scooter. Now, Disney has
Mm-hmm.
mobility scooters. All the sides come up on that, like the handlebars come up on them, so you don't have to like squeeze into it. But what's cool now is that this has become a business where Disney isn't the monopoly in it anymore. So there's so many companies around Disneyland that will, one, if it's your first day and you're going straight to the park, will deliver it to the park for you. Two, will pick it up from your hotel when you're done with your whole Disney stay. And they give you the charger, they give you the number to call. Like if there's an issue, there's charging spots all around Disney to plug in your scooter, or you can even do it in the front of the park. But I recommend not going through Disney. Like save the money, and like for the price that we paid for like a 1-day rental, we got 2-day rentals somewhere else. And it's a small business that you're supporting.
Good tip. Yeah, that's awesome.
You can also rent walkers, scooters, like push wheelchairs, all that stuff. But I say if you need a wheelchair and you are able to operate one, just do it. Just don't be ashamed.
Yeah, why not?
There's so many people who are ashamed of getting a scooter. You know what? Everyone needs a scooter every once in a while, okay? Like,
yeah.
You know?
Are there a lot of places to sit down and rest? I mean, because if you have a wheelchair, you always have a place to sit down and rest.
Exactly. Not in line, there's not. You are standing in line. And you walk, you do about 13 miles a day in Disneyland.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like, save your body. Like, this is a trip that you want to enjoy. You don't want to reap from it for months to come. Like, just get the damn electrical wheelchair.
No duck butter, man. You gotta change your underwear too, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was such a game changer. When I first did that, I was
That's a great tip.
I do. And yeah, and it's that's why I started Thickum theme parks, is because I would have so much anxiety. And if I could take that anxiety away from other people and let them know, like, you're not alone. Like, this is how you ask for this. This is how you navigate this. Like, let me be the guinea pig, like, you know? And also it's because like, I want people who have saved up for like years to be able to enjoy their trip and not just be like, oh God, like I went with a friend in April. He didn't go for 20 years. I'm like, oh my gosh. And when we went, he's like, oh, well, I'll just go to Star Wars land. And like, that's fine. I'm like, dude, there's like hella rides there. He's like, no, it's fine. I'm like, and I looked at the way his body was reacting. And I said, are you nervous you're not going to fit? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, first of all, bro, I'm fatter than you. And I go on every single ride but those fucking rocket ships. Okay. And I even go on the Matterhorn. And yeah, like I told him, I said, trust me, I won't guide you to a ride that you won't fit on. And he had so much fun. He went on like every single ride. And then he actually went back in June with another fat friend and rode all the rides.
Right on. I love it. When are you going next? When's your next trip to Disneyland?
We wanted to go for Halloween season because we love Halloween. But with my husband's recent health condition, we got to get clearance from his doctor. Because my husband is also like a kid there. So like he gets really excited and worked up and stuff. And so we're hoping to go for Christmas. That is our goal.
It's a good goal.
Yeah. My goal is to go for Christmas.
So I know you have the podcast. I mean, you have the Instagram.
Yes.
Do you TikTok too about Disney?
I'm trying. I'm learning that it's so hard to run like things like this.
Yeah.
I give you guys so much credit.
Right. It's a lot.
Yeah. And it's frustrating because there's been some roadblocks that, you know, every time I like get going. Last year I got diagnosed with lupus when I first started getting going. And then this year I was like, I had all this stuff planned and then my husband got sick. So I'm trying to really get it going because it's something that I'm super passionate about. Like I love
You're doing great.
Thank you.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
What about, remember, because I love watching you on social media, and I remember that you and your hubby, I think, went to Florida, and it looked like you were going on a Disney cruise or a Star Wars cruise. What was it?
Yeah, the Galactic Star Cruiser, the Halcyon, which actually next week is its last voyage. So Disney spent billions of dollars and built this like crazy intense Star Wars hotel, and about a year and a half later, they're closing it because they don't make enough money off of it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because people can't afford it and they need to make things more affordable for families. Anyways.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
What does a pass cost? Like if you want to buy a pass for the whole year, is that possible?
It is. It's very expensive. If you are going to buy a pass, I recommend planning when you want to go. So you you get your money's worth and freaking get every discount you can. You best believe I'm always like,
Yeah.
you take the discount, you take the discount. And I won't go if they don't take the discount. So
Good for you.
back to the Galactic Star Cruiser. It was epic. So what it was it's a Star Wars themed hotel that's basically LARPing for 3 days. Yeah, 3 days, 2 nights.
Tell people what LARPing is in case they don't know.
Live action role play. So you like dress up and you like battle. We did lightsaber battles. My husband became part of the storyline and got to save the like hologram cube and all that stuff. And they have like Gaia, this like intergalactic superstar. And she like has this beautiful voice that she puts on shows, and then like Chewie breaks into the ship, and then you have to break Chewie out because the resistance it's crazy. It is
Chewie. Oh my God.
yeah,
I
so
love
like
that.
we're sitting eating dinner, and all of a sudden I look behind me and there's Chewbacca, and I'm just like, oh my God, it's Chewbacca! And they have like all these crazy foods like blue shrimp and blue wine, and like, yeah, it was crazy. And you sleep in like a space pod, so there's no windows. It's just like you look out to space, and it was a lot for me. This is when I realized I might be neurospicy in my life. Yeah, it was a lot. It's a lot of going all the time, people coming at you just full force, Star Wars. And I'm like, I love this, but like, we all need to tone it down. There's a lot of lights. There's a lot of this, a lot of noises, a lot of that. But like you learn how to lightsaber battle. So like they have like the lightsabers that go like, vroom, and then you like,
Was your hubby in heaven?
Oh, I like didn't see him for the 3 days. Cause like you have like you have a data pad, and they like call you to do missions and stuff like that. And he would just like be like, gotta go. And I'm like, what the, like, where are you going? He was like, Yoda needs me. It was actually my birthday. So my birthday, we went for my birthday, but his birthday is May 4th, which is May the 4th be with you.
That's wild.
Yeah, I know. He has like a whole sleeve. It's a way of life for us. We love it.
I really want to meet Chewbacca because I want to meet somebody who's hairier than me.
Yeah, girl. Yep. He's at Batu, which Batu is like the Star Wars land in Galaxy's Edge. It's called Batu. And Chewie just walks around, and now like Ashoka walks around, and the Mandalorian walks around, and Grogu is in Mandalorian's little pouch. Yeah. Oh. And it's cool because like in Batu, which is like the Star Wars land, everyone's in character. So like it's super fun, but like I have a really like this is the example that I give. Everyone's in character, so bring your patience, because they say like off planet or this planet, and we got to go to like the preview of it. That's where I met Joey Fatone, and I was drunk at 8 a.m, just so you know. But
shut up.
Yes.
Joey Fatone? Wow.
Yes.
Why was he there?
He's a Star Wars fan, so he was at the thing, and I went to the bar at 8 a.m. because that's the time that we got our reservation. And I may be thick, but I am alcohol just does one on me. Okay. So I literally have a picture of me feeding my daughter with a bottle at a bar, like chugging a galactic drink. I'm like, when am I going to be able to do this again? I'm a great kid. So anyway, so I had to go find a hot water to warm up her bottle. And I kept asking like, oh, do you guys have warm water here? And they're like, that's off planet. I'm like, what do you mean off planet? Like, we're at Disneyland. Like, we're in what? And they kept saying all these things. And finally I got so mad. I said, listen, you guys are doing a great job, but I need to know where the fuck I can get warm water for my baby's bottle. And they're like, Fantasyland. I was like, thank you. And I like stomped off. Like, so they like really stay in character, and it is fun, but it can sometimes be frustrating. But that was like one of the few times that I've like lost it. But
and so where did you meet Joey Fatone?
Okay, so yeah, so I had to pee, and I literally was like running around with like my little one in her little like kangaroo pouch, and I turn and I'm like, oh my God, it's Joey Fatone. And he's like, hi. And this is what I said to him. I said, Joey, you might not remember me, but we did the Disney Half Marathon together. And he's like, and I was like, can I get a picture? He's like, sure. And I'm like, oh my God.
Did you actually meet him at the half marathon, or you just know you were both there?
No, I know that we were both there because I stalk him on Instagram, so it's fine. No big deal. So, yeah.
Are you going to secure some of that Disney money and go see NSYNC live? Because we all know it's going to happen.
Hold on, I'm crying. Just think about it. Yeah, you best believe Disney will be on the back burner when that shit is announced. I heard that they did the announcement for their new song, and I was breaking our LVN at our school, and I literally came back to my office like in tears, and my principal was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "They sing a song for the first time in like 20-something years on the 29." I was like, "I might need to take that day off." She's like,
oh, I love it.
And of course,
they must love working with you.
It's always a comedy show.
Yeah, you keep everything fun, and that's a great characteristic to have.
Thank you. Life is too short to not have fun. So
I always say you have to laugh a lot, otherwise you might cry, because life is a shit show right now for sure.
Ain't that the truth?
It's mean out there right now, and at least we have Disneyland and things like that to fall back on. Are there any other amusement parks that we should know about that are fat friendly?
So no.
I figured.
Yeah, Universal it sucks because Universal just did during the pandemic they put in Secret Life of Pets, which is a slow dark ride. So basically like a story. It tells like the story of the movie, whatever. Or like they have like a mission or whatever. And I have friends who are probably size 24 and they don't even fit on it. And it's like, why do they need to make it like that? It's a slow ride. There's no twists, there's no turns, there's no up downs. Like, why? And then like their Mario ride, I heard their new Mario Land. And it's like, this is what pisses me off with theme parks. If you are going to go and make a new ride, why not make it size accessible? Or just accessible more accessible in general.
Where I go to get my health taken care of at Kaiser, they built a new building here, and I went over there and I was like, there are no goddamn chairs without arms. Brand new. How did you guys not take this into consideration? The other hospitals have them. So I know the world is not ready for us still. There's a few places here and there, but even Kaiser gets it wrong, and they should know better.
Agreed. And so I always recommend people, a lot of people ask me like, okay, well, I'm going to Universal Studios and Disneyland. And I warn them about Universal Studios. I personally wouldn't give my money to them, but I tell them if you're going to go and do both parks, or also Knott's Berry Farm is down there too, I would do Universal, Knott's, then Disneyland, because you want to end on a high note. You want to end, and I always tell them like, Disneyland is not like the other two. Like, you will be able to go on the roller coaster. You'll be able to go on the water ride. You'll be able to do this. You'll be able to do this. Those other parks, you might not be able to. And that's unfortunate.
I didn't even realize that Knott's Berry Farm was still open, but I think I saw Jen go there recently, and I was like, Knott's Berry Farm is still there?
I want to go just for their food festivals, which, I mean, not like I can eat anything. They don't have anything gluten-free. They have like, what was it, watermelon sushi or something? I'm like,
wow, that's sad.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they always have a bunch of like alcoholic beverages that are gluten-free, and it's like, I can't handle my alcohol anyway, so I'm not going to be spending $20 to go get super drunk and then barf it up. No thanks.
No, thank you. Or shit your pants.
In my case, I would shit my pants, and I already used my change underwear.
So, Sam, what else do we need to know? What else should we tell our fellow fat friends out there to how to enjoy the park? Like, what's your best tip? And like, how do we get them convinced that it's not their fault if they don't fit on a ride? It's their capitalism that's fault, not ours.
Exactly. So actually, it's funny you say it, because I literally will tell everyone, it's not you, it's the physical ride. It's not your body. Because when I was younger and I went on the rides, I would go and try every which way to change my body so I could go back the next summer and be able to ride the ride. No, that is their flaw. Their flaw. They were not considerate and did that. And I always say, I'm sorry you're going to have to experience that, but it's not you. Please know that it's not you. Another trick that I give people is with the seatbelts. Pull them out before you sit down. So like, I actually pull out the seatbelt, click it in, and then sit down, and then kind of like tuck it back so it locks. And always speak up. If you feel that you are not properly restrained in a ride, please speak up. Like, safety is always my number one priority. And take things slow. Like, it always feels like they're like rushing you, like go, 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 go. But it's like they will slow things down for you. Like, that is because they don't want a lawsuit on their hands, okay? Of you getting hurt, getting in and out of the vehicle. So always slow down, take your time to get on and off the rides, watch your steps, take breaks. It's okay to just sit and people watch or just sit and relax. And listen to your body. Listen to your body and get the scooter if you need to get the scooter. Also, when I book hotels, I ask for the weight limits of the beds and the furniture in there. That's something else that I want to cover in Thickum theme parks because I've been on hospital beds and they've broke. Hospital beds. I've been on hotel beds and they've broke before. So yeah,
all that crazy sex you're having.
You know.
Yeah, it's good point for sure. I went to something recently and I thought I'm going to call ahead and just see and ask them how much weight their chairs hold. And they're like, oh gosh, we never thought to look into that. I go, well, I need to know because I want to come. And if I know the chairs aren't going to hold more than 250 pounds, I'm not coming.
Well, and that's the thing too, that I tell people, if they don't get these questions asked or these feedbacks, they don't know. They just expect that we find a way to make it work. And that's not what we are paying for a service. When you go to Disneyland, you're paying for a service. You are paying to enjoy your time, whether it's with friends, family, or even by yourself. And you shouldn't have to have these barriers that the world puts in place if you're paying to enjoy something. And so I really, really also heavily recommend people riding back to Disney. Right. Or blast
tweet
on social media. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, social media. Yeah, for sure. Well, this was so helpful, Sam. I really appreciate your time and all of your expertise. We'll definitely put your information in the show notes so people can find you. And just slowly spell out how to find you on Instagram right now.
So it's Thick in Theme Parks. That's ThickEmepARKS. Thick in Theme Parks.
Okay, cool. We'll put that in the show notes for sure. I just want to remind all of our listeners that, you can find all of our podcasts on BigSexyChat. Like Murph always tells you, share, come and find us on all the social sites. And anything else we should let them know about, Murph?
Email us if you have questions or ideas for a show. sexy@bigsexychat.com. And we love suggestions or fun stories or questions. So just email us. We want to have the conversation.
And go listen to our Flying While Fat podcasts, and you can learn all about the Mile High Club from a certain fatty. Awesome. Okay. Well, thanks you so much. Thanks again, Sam. Really appreciate your time and all of your expertise. It's amazing. And I'm going to say, see you later, alligator.
Well, after Wild Crocodile.
Go and soar, dinosaur.
So where can you find your favorite fatties? You can find us at BigSexyChat.com, on all the social medias at BigSexyChat, on Twitter, BigSexyChatPod. And Crystal, how can they reach us?
Oh, Murph, the best way to reach us is by email, which is sexy@bigsexychat.com. And remember to like, subscribe, and share, please.